howling in Buenos Aires right now. I don't know if you guys can hear that eerie sound. Today, I want to talk about close encounters. Lately, I've been thinking about abductees and experiencers, and how hard it must be for some of them to cope with what they've gone through. I mean, imagine being taken against your will and studied and probed. Some of these people are taken constantly, not just once. Sometimes they're taken throughout their lives, and they don't know by what. And they can't tell their friends or their family without those people looking at them like they are completely insane. Now, when it comes to the claims of abductees, I've heard many people say that, oh, they're just making it up. You know, or maybe they're schizophrenic, or maybe they have sleep apnea. A lot of these people have no reason to lie. And especially about the ET and the UFO phenomenon. Honestly, I feel like talking about this phenomenon is a little dangerous, in the sense of you may meet somebody that's completely open to the idea, and you may meet people that are completely closed off to the idea. At this point in my life, I'm completely open to talking about anything paranormal, but I have seen some of the ramifications of that. I have seen wide eyes. I have seen people look at me, you know, like I'm strange, or like I'm saying something completely crazy, which is completely okay. It's totally okay. It's totally fine. I understand. You have to open up your mind to the possibilities to just kind of grasp the subject. I don't know, guys. I just can't not think about, you know, those young kids or people that have been living their whole lives holding in a secret, like being abducted, or holding in a secret like seeing a craft, or coming into contact. You know, it must be so difficult and so hard, and it must really mess with your mind, in the sense of once you've been taken out of your comfort zone, once you've been taken out of what we know as real, and you've been taken to this new realm, how do you come back and have coffee with Jane or Bob on a Saturday normally? On episode 50 of this channel episode, it sounds weird saying episode, well, on episode 50 of this vlog, I talked about my experience at the train tracks here in Buenos Aires. And to be honest, the worst part of that whole thing was not knowing what that was, and thinking to myself, you can't tell anyone about this. You can't share this story with anyone. They are going to think that you're completely insane. I don't know. So the more that I look into this subject, and I look into cases of experiencers and people sharing their story, I get this vibe like once you share your experience, life completely changes. Once you go out into the media, or you start talking about this openly, sometimes it turns out negatively for people. So this video right here is for the abductees and the experiencers, the people that feel like, that know down in their core, the people that know down in their core that they had an experience and they cannot explain it, and they feel like it was with a otherworldly being, or it was with something from another dimension, or something that we cannot explain. This video is for you. Let's talk real quick about the Hynek scale. That's some good whiskey. That's some pretty good whiskey. Now, close encounters can happen in many different kinds of ways, and Dr. J. Allen Hynek created a scale to sort of classify each encounter. Close encounter of the first kind: visual sighting of an unidentified flying object. seemingly less than 500 feet away, that shows an appreciable angular extension and considerable detail. Basically, seeing the craft close enough to where you see detail on the craft. Close encounter of the second kind is where physical effects are alleged. So basically, it's like if there's scorched grass, if the person, has some sort of trauma from the effect, if your vehicle gets burned out or the engine stops working, anything, any physical trace of the event. Close encounter of the third kind is where the being is present, right? You either see the being in the craft, you see the being out of the craft, you see the alien. Okay, so let's sit back down real quick, because in my opinion, these are some of the craziest forms of close encounter. Close encounter of the fourth kind is where a person is abducted and taken on the craft. Close encounters of the fifth kind. Now this is where the aliens are directly communicating with the experiencer or the abductee. Basically, it's like when they contact you through your consciousness, or they, share messages with you or talk to you directly. I'm gonna need a drink for this one. Close encounter of the sixth kind is where a human or an animal dies. They come into contact with the alien beings or with whatever this is, and they die. Now, of course, we couldn't finish the scale without talking about starseeds or hybrid children. Now, close encounters of the seventh kind is that. It's basically when there are alien-human hybrids, when there's some sort of hybridization going on. I've been looking into this subject for a long time. And if there's one thing that doesn't let me, turn my head away or ignore it, it's the experiencers. It's the abductees. I can't hear their stories, not all of their stories, and say that they're complete lies, I need to try to give these people the benefit of the doubt, because they're people just like you and me. Now imagine if you had a close encounter of the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, or the seventh kind. How hard would it be for you to cope? How hard would it be for you to come back into society and just live a normal life? These people need answers. These people need explanations. So this video really, in all honesty, is for the experiencers out there. All of you watching this that have come into contact, that have had a close encounter, I am here for you. If you feel like your family won't believe you, if you feel like your friends won't believe you, I will do my best to try to understand what happened to you. I will do my best to try to talk to you and help you. Sometimes all you need is somebody to share your story with. And I can be that person. Definitely. So, share your story with me. Leave it down in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. And if you believe that the paranormal is normal, so do I. We'll talk soon, guys.
Do you believe in aliens?
I'm absolutely convinced. That's all there is to it. There has been and is an existing presence, an ET presence. Now, I spent millions and millions. I probably spent more as an individual than anybody else in the United States has ever spent on this subject.
Do you imagine that in our space travels we will encounter other forms of intelligent life?
You don't have to go anywhere.
You can find it here.
Yeah.